Hi there, and thank you very much for joining me today. Today I am going to show you some tips and tricks on how to cheaply and effectively vacuum seal the fish that you catch. But before we do that, please consider hitting that thumbs up, subscribing, and slapping that notification bell so that you never miss an opportunity to spend a little time on the water with us and learn a few of the tips and tricks that we have picked up along the way. Now today what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a way to vacuum seal the fish that you catch. As you can see here, I have an example of some fish that I caught the other day. If you'd like to see that video, I have it in the little box that's popping up at the top corner of the screen right there. We're going to vacuum seal that fish today, and it's a cheap and easy and effective method that we use. First off, you're going to need to get yourself a box of Ziploc bags. I do prefer Ziploc to the generic brands, and the reason being is because the seals have a tendency of working a little bit better. The generic ones have a tendency of popping open on you, and also because you can use this for other meats. We use it for deer and dove and alligator and some other things like that. But the Ziploc bags have a little bit thicker plastic to them. The thinner plastic on the generic bags has a tendency of getting holes popped in it whenever you get a bone or something in the meat. You can use either one, it works totally fine either way. I just do prefer Ziploc as opposed to some of the other generic brands out there. Now the first thing that you're going to do, you're going to take your fillets and you're going to cut them down to the size that you want for a portion. You just want to fit them into the size bag that you want to freeze. So normally we stick in the quart or gallon size bags. Then you're going to wash off those fillets and you're going to put them down into the Ziploc bag. Now the second part of this process is that you are going to take that Ziploc bag and then you are going to fill it with water. You need to fill it about 3/4 of the way to the top of the bag. Then we're going to go ahead and shut off the water here, and you are going to zip that seal about 80% shut. You want it to be mostly zipped up, but you want to leave a little room on the corner so that you can bleed out the air. And that is the next step of the process, is you need to bleed the air out of the bag first. So what you're going to do is squeeze on the bottom of it, get all of the air out so that the water comes pouring out the top. You have no more air in there, and while that is happening, then you zip the remainder of the bag so that there is no air left. Step number 3, you're going to put the bag upside down, and then you are going to reopen a small little portion of that zipper, and you're going to let the water drain out of the bag. If it's not draining fast enough, you can open up that Ziploc a little bit larger, but the key here is that you do not want any air to get back up inside the bag. You want to keep it just water in the bag. What I like to do is put the meat as it's sitting there on top of the sink and let the water run down the edge. It helps to hold the meat in place and allow only the water to drain out of the bag. The key here is to get as much of the water out of that bag as possible without getting any air in. You're going to sit there and let the bag drain out as best you can until it is as empty as you can physically get it. Once all of the water has just about drained out, you want to go ahead and finish off that seal. Do not let any air back into the bag. You're going to finish that Ziploc seal, and then it's going to be all sealed up. You'll be good to go at that point. But there is another step here. Before you pack this thing into the freezer, you want to make sure that you kind of spread out all of your fillets. Again, you want them to be flat. You want this to be, you don't want it to be thick and full, because then when you go to freeze it, if it's a big lump of meat, it's going to be really hard to unfreeze, and it's not going to freeze very fast, so that meat in the center of the big ball that you got sitting in there has a tendency of spoiling a little bit worse than the rest. That's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that this is a money-saving and time-saving endeavor for you. Again, if you have any questions or comments about this process, please leave me a comment in the comment sections down below. I'm happy to get back with every single person that I can. And you guys get outside and go have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.